have some fun? Oh, come on. We're on Broadway, right? Okay. Who's ready to learn something useful? Well, maybe you're not really just ready just yet. Let's think about your projects. Do you feel a little bit like this? All right. Maybe it's not that you feel like. Maybe you feel a little bit like this. We need to make a choice right now. If you have projects, are they driving you crazy? And are you willing to make a change? We have just a few minutes to help you learn as much as we possibly can that is going to make your real-world life easier and better. So, it's really up to you how much you get out of this session and what you participate in only a few minutes. Is this the way you want to feel all the time about your projects? Well, project management, there's a lot that I can offer you. And one of the things I want you to realize is that projects are really bad. Only 34% of projects succeed. So, when someone assigns you a project or you assign yourself a project, you only have a 34% chance of being successful. That's not good enough for you, is it? And the projects that are underway right now, only 43% of them, well, they're 43% are over budget, wasting money that they didn't need to waste. Does anybody have any opportunity to spend money you don't have? Anybody have extra money they just want to throw away? How about extra time? Do you really want to be working on your projects more time than you need to? Well, this is your chance for a change. So who would like to learn something valuable for the real world? Okay. What is project management? If I were to ask you, would you answer, oh, it's kind of like using people skills or there's some software out there? Neither of these are correct. Sure, you need people skills, but you need people skills for lots of things. And yes, there is some good software out there, but it helps you manage projects. It's not going to tell you how to manage projects. So what I'd like to start with is to have you realize we can go to books, 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 and more books about projects. And there are maybe a few good ones out there. But forget the books. We don't want to read the books necessarily to educate ourselves. How about we try to do it right now? So let's throw away the academics. Forget everything that's not real world. And take a moment to think about what do you really need right now to be successful right now and to make a difference the next time you set foot in your office and work on the projects. To do that, I'd like you to realize that project management is a process. It's just like you cannot necessarily go to work if you haven't put your clothes on yet. It doesn't make sense to try to commute to work if you haven't had your cup of coffee. There are things you need to do in a logical process. And it's that process that helps you. It's that process that guides you. And most importantly, the process of knowing what to do saves you from the nightmare that can exist for many projects. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you some real-world tricks of the trade, some real-world things you can do without getting into the science of project management or the art too much. But realize there's a science and there's an art. And so instead of being academic, we're going to give you things you can do and use right now, right away. First, do you know what your project is? There was one time I was teaching a workshop for 16 project managers, and I asked them, what's your project? I got 17 different answers. And if you can add, there's a little difference of numbers there. One person said, well, it's either this or that. Do you know what your project is? I guarantee you, if you were to go back to whomever you're working with your projects with, and you were to write out a little paragraph that says what your project is, and have everybody else write a little paragraph of what they thought the project was, you'd get different answers. We can't start in a disaster. Projects are challenges no matter what, but you can't start with a mistake. Remember this. Do this the next time you're with the people you're working on your projects with. Have them try it out. What is your project? So this is the first simple, very easy, non-academic, very real-world thing for you to do. What is the project? And in the science of project management, this is called a project charter.